Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new WWE Elite Collection Mr. T figure from Mattel. Now this figure is being offered as one of Mattel's San Diego Comic-Con exclusives for this year. Now originally this figure was available on the Entertainment Earth website for pre-order. It is since sold out there. However, you will get another opportunity at this figure, and I'll give you those details in just a bit. But the figure, when you get it, it's going to come with this outer mailer box, which is done with red and then has the gold chains of Mr. T on the front there. And you've got the little Mattel logo and the Elite Collection logo there, which is pretty cool. The back of this mailer box just has the WWE symbol on there, so nothing too elaborate there. And then you can open it. It just has a little piece of tape, and pull out the inner packaging, which is actually the cooler of the packaging with this. It's made to look like a book, and you've got Mr. T. It says first time in the line because this is the first time they've done a Mr. T figure for the WWE line, and you've got the Elite Collection logo. On the front here, you've got some artwork of Mr. T, again first time in the line in the Elite Collection, and the name of Mr. T there up at the top. And on the back, you've got again a look at Mr. T, and it says I pity the fool, and then you've got a little brief bio there. And also, like down there on the bottom, it says MRT Mr. T 25 points of articulation, which is kind of funny. Now to actually get to the figure itself, all you do is you just open this front cover. Again, it's kind of done like a book. And then on this side, you've just got some actual images from the very first WrestleMania. That is why Mr. T is being included in a WWE wrestling line. Not that Mr. T was really ever a wrestler. You know, he did appear in Rocky 3. Both Hulk Hogan and Mr. T appeared in Rocky 3, but then went on to basically team up together in the very first WrestleMania in 1985. And so that's what these images are from. On this side of the packaging, you have the actual figure itself. Now you can see there's this kind of cover on the front to protect the figure. It's got Mr. T's name on it, and all you do is you can just pull it out, and the figure is then displayed. Now what I like about this packaging is you can actually pull the figure out to handle it and everything, but then if you want to keep it like displayed in the packaging like this, you can easily put it back. It's really no problem at all. So you can either have it out of the packaging or in the packaging, you know, whatever is your preference. And you can see the figure is displayed there with the extra pair of hands that he comes with, and you can pull this out and then the figure just pops out really easy. So let's go on and get the figure fully out of the package and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now, as I mentioned before, you get the extra pair of hands with this one, and with the hands that are included with the figure that are attached when you take it out of the packaging, you've got a closed fist for the right hand and a grip hand for the left hand, and both of the hands have basically jewelry rings that are sculpted on his fingers. The extra set of hands are just a pair of grip hands with no jewelry on them, so you know he has to take his jewelry off when he gets in the ring to wrestle. Now the figure itself, the outfit that Mr. T is wearing with this figure is not one I'm super familiar with. As I recall, it's not what he wore at WrestleMania. He had red tights on when he fought Roddy Piper, and I don't recall him having the camouflage shirt on. It is something, you know, that you've definitely seen Mr. T wear over the years, including like in the A-Team and such, but I'm not exactly sure what this outfit is based on. Now, when it was announced that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2014, and they put out an image of Mr. T for that announcement, he was actually wearing a camouflage shirt like this, so I'm not sure if that's what this is based on or what. Still, even though, like I said, it doesn't seem to be the outfit he actually wore at WrestleMania, you know, it is definitely something in keeping with what you would expect Mr. T to have on. So, starting with the head sculpt. So the head sculpt, I think, came off looking really good on this one. It's said to use Mattel's True FX enhanced facial detailing, and I think it looks very much like Mr. T did back during the first WrestleMania. He's looking really angry. He's gritting his teeth. He's got the kind of squinted eyes, good skin tone, and of course he's got his signature mohawk and then beard and mustache. So like I said, I think they've done a really good job with the head sculpt on this one. Now, it wouldn't be Mr. T if it didn't have his signature jewelry. So he does have all the chains he's wearing, and this is removable. All the chains are sculpted there as one piece, and it's done with just a rubber type material. Now, I will say, while I think the paint doesn't look bad, it would have been nice if maybe they had come up with a shinier gold so that it looked a little more metal. Again, it's not bad, but it definitely is not as shiny as I remember all those gold chains looking when he would have them on and such. So I would have liked that. But otherwise, I think the sculpting detail, and it looks very true to the type of jewelry. He's got this heart here with an arrow through it, and this rectangle piece that I remember often seeing him wearing. So overall, the sculpting detail with the chains are really nice on the. You also get a wrist bracelet, a rather large one on the right arm, and you've got a little sculpting detail on that. And this one, it just slides over the wrist, so you can take it off when you're going to have him go into the ring. You've got a smaller one which has a little more texturing on it, and I actually like the smaller one a little bit better. Now, to get this one off, you have to actually pop the hand off, but it's easy to do. It just slides right off, and then you can pop the hand back on. But I do like that they included those as well along with the chains. Besides the jewelry, you get this weightlifting belt. Obviously, Mr. T wasn't an actual wrestler. He didn't have a WWE Championship belt, but they have included this weightlifting belt. And I like how you've got the T there with the gold on the front. You also have T's off to the side that are done as the same color as the belt, which is a kind of a pinkish red color. But I think it's pretty cool they included the belt, and of course that, like all the wrestling belts that we see with these figures, that is removable. It just pops right off, has the little tabs and everything. And then once you take the belt off, you can take his shirt off, and it just attaches with a Velcro, so it's almost like a coat type deal. You've got this collar. It's obviously a soft goods, and I like the the camouflage comes off looking really good on this shirt, so I think they did a good job with that. And then of course when he's getting ready to wrestle, you can take the shirt off, and he's ready to go. And it's up to you whether you want to have him use the hands with the jewelry or without. Now, I don't know if this is a reused body from a previous wrestler, but overall I think it works well for Mr. T. He's definitely muscular, but not like super big. So again, I think that's kind of in keeping with Mr. T, especially how he looked, and if you remember him in Rocky 3 and such, I think this is definitely how he kind of looked. And you've got the blue tights. Again, I'm not sure what these tights are based on. You've got the knee pads, which are separate pieces. I've got a little bit of paint blemishes, nothing major, but a little bit of paint blemish, a little bit of blue that's bled onto the white here on one of the knee pads, but overall nothing too major. You've got the white striping off to the side, you've got the white on the wrists there, the tape on the wrists. He's got for the boots, and again, I don't know if this is based on something specific, but he's got the gold boots, and the right boot has the blue laces, and then the left boot has red laces. So I'm not sure if that's based on something specific or just something they thought was fitting for Mr. T, but overall those do look pretty good. Okay, and for comparison, here's a look at the Defining Moments Hulk Hogan figure from Mattel, and I think these two figures actually scale pretty good. Now, I don't know if Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were real-life friends or what. I'm guessing they probably met on the set of Rocky 3. Hulk Hogan actually made an appearance at least one time, if not more, on the A-Team with Mr. T, and then, of course, Mr. T came to WrestleMania. So they always seemed like they were actually real friends, but I don't know for sure if they were or not. Now here's a comparison of the 7-inch scale Rocky 3 Clubber Lang figure that NECA Toys did a couple years ago. So if you're a big Mr. T fan and you want to have multiple figures, the NECA figure, which is technically a true 7-inch scale figure, is a hair taller than the WWE Elite one, but overall I would say they're pretty comparable with each other. The NECA figure probably has a little more paint detail to it, is a little bulkier, but again, if you want to display these together on the shelf, a wrestling version and a boxing version, I think they do go together pretty good. And then finally, one more comparison. Here's a look at the Rocky Balboa figure, also from NECA Toys. And with this one, you can see the WWE Elite Mr. T figure is a hair taller than Rocky. So again, I think these two actually scale pretty good with one another. For articulation, I would say it's probably on par with other Elite Collection figures. We'll go over it. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down about that much. He doesn't get a whole lot of back movement, and then you get a little bit of head pivot, but not too much. Now with the arms, you can get the arm out pretty good there at the shoulder. You can rotate there. You've got a bicep swivel. You do only get the single hinged elbow with this one, so you can bend his elbow that much. You also get rotation with the hands. You do have hinges on the hands, so you've got the good down movement and up movement there. You've got an actual ab crunch joint, so he can crunch forward about that much, and then he can look back about that much. You get a waist swivel. With the legs, he can do the splits pretty good. You can get the leg forward good. You, however, cannot do the leg back very much with the way the butt is sculpted, so just be wary of that. You get a thigh swivel with this one. You get a double hinged knee, and even with the knee pads, which are separate pieces, you can still bend the knee pretty good there. You get a boot cuff swivel, and then you have these hinges on the feet. Now these hinges do, at least on mine, are pretty stiff, so just be wary of that, but you do have the back and forth movement. You get a little bit of rocking, but I wouldn't call these ankle pivot in any way. You basically just get the up and down movement, and then you do have 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I would say this is a pretty fun figure overall. If you're a Mr. T fan or just like obscure characters for your WWE collection, I think this is one you're going to want to check out. If I had any minor complaint, I would say it would have been nice if the gold was maybe a little bit shinier on the figure, but otherwise I think this is pretty much in keeping with how Mr. T looked. Now again, I don't know what this outfit is specifically based on, but it definitely fits the look overall for Mr. T. Now, as I mentioned before, this is being released as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year, which obviously Comic-Con is not actually happening this year, which means the figure is being made available online. So the figure was initially offered on Entertainment Earth, was up for pre-order, and quickly sold out. But Mattel will be making the figure available again starting on July 22nd, so mark your calendars if you want to be able to pick this one up. The second time around, the figure is going to be made available on Mattel's own website called MattelCreations.com, and I will put a link to that in the video description below. A big thanks to the folks at Mattel for sending me this figure so I could review it for you guys. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of it. As always, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, like the video, and stay safe out there. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.